your easiest bet. This is exploiting the update process. So you go to the Ford website, you update the latest file, and you put it on your USB stick, and then you stick it in the car, and you go through this update process that you can see that we're doing right here. And it's a cab file. Now, if you were able to get some code into this cab file and still make it readable as a cab file, you would be able to put software on the device that would allow you to exfil a drive through Bluetooth or through the wireless. So I don't want to call it malware because it's not necessarily malware, because the purpose of it is different. All right, it's malware, whatever. Whatever, you know what? Sorry, DoD, it's malware. You can exploit this update process, customize this cab file, put your malware on there that will then allow you to exploit the Bluetooth and use it to image your file. And that way you're getting around the TPM lock. Now this way is kind of cool too. There's a guy in Florida, kind of a bit of a hermit, ecoastal.com, and what he's done is he's created some hardware that you put on the back. It puts the system into a CAN diagnostic mode, and what he does is he flashes the radio with predefined options. So again, you could use this method. You could flash the radio with these predefined options, and some of those options you put on are again malware that allow you to access the car. And I'm saying this because this is what a forensic analyst would do, but keep in mind that these are also things that someone with not so good intentions could do as well. So they could put stuff so they could constantly get access to your car.
Would it be possible to flash the BIOS on the hard drive itself to remove the check and serial number?
I don't know. We haven't tried that. It could be something worth trying. So the second generation. So the second generation is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a single integrated component. So the Microsoft Sync chip is going to be in the head unit. And they're getting away from the Clarion VxWorks, and the operating system for the nav unit and for the chip is going to be Microsoft Office, and again, Windows CE based. So again, exploits that were going to work against Windows CE might work against this as well. They are moving away from having a hard drive. They're moving toward having all of their storage be an external USB drive or an SD card. And the SD card has a software lock protection on it. I haven't been able to get one yet, but I'm going to get one and play around with that. How come no one's drinking? I just said come on. Damn it. So they're also, they have a full suite of wireless products. You can turn your car into a wireless hotspot. You can connect to any wireless network that you want. Again, that information is going to be stored in the chip. So that's information that you can get access to as well. Software locked. Yeah, drink. How come no one's a drink? Someone drink. Saw you drink, all right. All right, so this is the second generation 2012 Ford Explorer with the second generation system, and I thought that I was being a master social engineer here. I thought I was being so smart. So we dress up, we go to the Ford dealer, and I start asking him all kinds of questions, pretending like I'm going to buy the car, and ask if I can take pictures of stuff so that I could show you guys what's going to be there. And I should have known that the true social engineer masters are car salesmen, because if my husband hadn't been there with me, I would have walked out with that car and an $800 car payment because my car is still in a lease. Yeah, I hate, they're like, what can I do to get you in this car today? And I've got stars. I'm like, anything. Yeah, but that car is really nice, really nice. So again, this includes the SD card in the center console. You can see it. This is the Ford Explorer 2012, or was this the F-150? The Explorer, okay. It's got 2 USB ports. Oh, that's important to note too. The USB ports are not connected to the head unit, the hard drive. So you can stream stuff from it, but you can't use them as points of doing a forensic acquisition. And this is important to note too. The only way that you can get information onto the hard drive, the photos, currently is through the CD. But then again, using some of these methods that I spoke about are ways of cracking that so that you can get your music on there through Bluetooth, through wireless, if you put that piece of malware on there using those other methods.
Logic would assume is this all still hooked into a CAN bus network?
It is.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
What was the question?
Can you say that loud?
Is it hooked into the core CAN bus network?
It is. Ford has attempted to firewall it off, but and I'm saying Ford is really leading this. They've really thought of a lot of things, but GM hasn't, Dodge hasn't, and as pretty much everyone in this audience knows, you can find ways to get around a firewall, but at least they're making an effort. So you can see on this SD card case, this contains the maps. It says on there, this card is write protected. It can't be used in any other system. So that just kind of shows you also it's software protected. But then I had my boy, like, there is no information about this stuff on the internet. There just really isn't. So we had to do a lot of work. And Ford dealers know nothing about this because they ship out the systems to Clarion or to some other radio manufacturer, and they just bring them back. Like, no one fixes them. So I had to work my way through Ford dealer to a radio manufacturer to Clarion and to Ford finally, and the Ford engineer. So there wasn't a lot of information out there. So anyway, so this is the plastic case that comes with it. It's your maps. I think you can see that when the card is not in, the navigation system will just not work. So you have no access to your nav data. And since this is an all-in-one component, you need that SD card in there. So I think one of these is a SD card fault. You need to insert it, and then the other one says it's now enabled so it can work. This is kind of an okay picture. I mean, the guy was like standing over me, like telling me all the options on the car. So I'm like sitting here drooling while Matt's like trying to lean over me to like take photos. So this is just showing you what it looks like, the second generation. The wireless and internet is what I was most interested in. So you see, you've got your Wi-Fi settings, USB mobile broadband, Bluetooth, and then the prioritize connection methods. So you have a lot of options here. Oh, it even has a nice little map that kind of shows you what you can do too. And then here, this is just to show you the wireless options. You can go to Starbucks and get on their network, and I don't know, I mean, I guess this really means you could really do war driving because you're in your car and you're driving. Hey, I think I'm funny, yeah. So, again, I haven't done a ton with the wireless, but I will tell you that most of the wireless hacks that you've seen at this conference, that you know about, that you've researched about, they're going to work here. So, again, what my concern is I saw this CSI episode, which is the way they did it wasn't accurate, but what they said kind of was, that they had a hacker who wirelessly got into a car, and he was able to make the car drive to some location that a guy ended up getting murdered at, or something crazy like that. But there are ways to get in wirelessly to the car and eventually control the car, as these young gentlemen will probably be talking about later today at 3. So just kind of be thinking about that. So what's the future? So future integration. One thing that I'm kind of interested in, and I'm sure is going to happen, is what I had told you, what I had mentioned before, using your car itself as a virus. Whether you send the virus out over wireless, Bluetooth, or this new IntelliDrive that I'm going to show you, or various other methods. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of scary too. I mean, you could set up some kind of hotspot and have someone drive by and their car just shuts down. And using the car as a communication channel. Say 10 minutes? Wow, all right. Say I had something that I had to talk to Matt about, and I didn't want for Zane to be able to read it. So I use my car and his car, and we communicate on a protocol that Zane might not be looking for. And obviously that's not something you'd really use it for. You broaden your mind, like think about it in you know, covert channels, ways that you need to hide your data. So I'm going to show you this video because it's damn cool. And this is showing you the future of this IntelliDrive. And while you're watching it, think about the possibilities and the potentials for this technology, using it as a communication device, surveillance, sending out viruses, or just saving lives, which is what it was meant to do.
Back now at 7:45 with remarkable new technology designed to keep you safer behind the wheel. CNBC's Phil LeBeau is at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. with an exclusive first look at something that could prevent thousands of potentially deadly collisions. Good morning to you, Phil.
Good morning, Meredith. Imagine your car could talk to any other car or truck on the road and warn you if you were about to crash into each other. It's called IntelliDrive, and it may sound like something out of the Jetsons, but it's closer than you think to becoming reality. It happens every 6 seconds in the U.S. Car crashes, head-on, side impact, or rear-end collisions. More than 5 million in 2009, killing almost 34,000 and injuring 2 million more. A group of major automakers, including Ford, GM, and Toyota, are developing a technology called IntelliDrive that will allow cars to communicate with each other and warn drivers when they're about to crash.
We feel that the IntelliDrive program, fully implemented, can save up to 80% of traffic accidents for non-impaired drivers.
Here's how it works. Using GPS transmitters and Wi-Fi, cars constantly send out signals with their location and speed. So a driver about to be broadsided at an intersection would be warned to hit the brakes and avoid a collision.
We want it to be like a vigilant co-pilot that they have with them all the time.
We tested the technology with engineers from Ford, first at a blind intersection.
Looks like it's safe for me to go, so at this point I'm going to accelerate. Whoa!
Not a good idea. And attempting to change lanes.
With this system, it warns you if you're going to lane change into another car. So here's an example. And right there, the system warns me that in the lane right next to me, there was a car that I would have hit.
With technology that helps prevent rollovers and drifting across lanes, cars are already doing some of the thinking for you. And Google is testing a car that does the driving for you.
It's possible that someday cars will drive themselves like the space vehicles on the Jetsons.
Hey, looks like an opening overhead.
Until that day, IntelliDrive will make a big impact on safety.
I think this has huge potential to reduce crashes on our freeways.
And save lives.
And save lives, which is really the ultimate goal.
So when might we see IntelliDrive in all new cars and trucks? Well, maybe 5 or 6 years down the road. It'll take the federal government some time to make the rules and mandate everything for the automakers. But make no mistake, Meredith, talking cars are coming, and it could save thousands of lives.
Yeah.